doing out there? This is Pete, Southwest Ryan Custom, and today what we're doing, we're finalizing all the stuff up on a little 1970 Volkswagen-Karmann Ghia. I actually stripped the gas tank. Now, when I say stripped, I stripped the paint off, as you can see right here. Stripped it down to bare metal with airplane stripper. Okay, now I went over it with 80 grit, sanded it down. Now we're not going to paint the bottom of this gas tank. That's going to stay black, so I went ahead and taped it off. That's going to save me a lot of time, see? But what I did do, and I want you to pay attention because this is important if you're trying to make a show quality vehicle. Anything that shows, okay, this has some imperfections, some little dents, all the way across stuff like somebody dropped something on it, or what have you. There's a couple little more right here. These are spot welds though, so I'm going to leave those alone. The main place we're looking at is across the very front of the tank right here, where a tool would dropped on it, or they threw something in the trunk and dented it. So I mixed up some Bondo, and what I did is I went ahead and filled those small dents in. Now, if you're trying to make a show quality item, okay, don't half-ass it and do the fucking thing wrong, okay? Don't fucking do part of the car perfect and the rest of the car looking like shit. Because if you do that, then it's just gonna look like shit. Shit takes over, okay? The shit starts flying and then the shit is all over the place and people are gonna say, ooh, look at this, blah, 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 blah. And you're just gonna be pissed off. Alright, so don't fucking half-ass it. You half-ass it, it turns to shit. Okay, so I went ahead and I filled in all the spots. Now I'm going to hand sand that, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and hand sand it. I got a little flex block right here if you can see that, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and hand sand that with 80 grit. And I approximately let the Bondo, it's actually about 48 degrees out today. And I let the Bondo dry for approximately 25-30 minutes, properly mixed. That should be enough. So I go ahead and I sand all that down. Now I could have used Evercoat on this, okay, which is a type of a filler, okay, but it's not the same. It's actually made for filling in small spots like this, okay. But I went ahead and used Bondo instead. And I see that the Bondo isn't even dry yet. Look how it's peeling off. Now that could be from two reasons. I'm glad that happened because I'm sure that's happened to plenty of you out there. Now, the Bondo peeling off like that, and I'm sure it's going to do it on most, yeah, it is. Okay, what the problem we have here is I rushed through it. Okay. Yes, I did. I rushed through it, and I didn't sand that down good enough to make a quality bonding. Okay. What I got to do now is I got to sand all that down. If you look, you see the difference. Okay. So what that is, that's called improper prep work, okay? When you're prepping up for that, that should have been sanded more thoroughly, and I'm afraid that the rest of this is going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and use my DA sander just to speed things up. Okay, so as you see, it is now properly prepped using the DA sander. You can see the difference between the shiny surface and the dull surface. Okay? So, what I got to do is I got to, can you see that better there? Okay, sorry about that. I'm trying to do this, that, and the other. So now I'm going to mix up some more Bondo and we'll go ahead and fill those in. We'll come back and then we'll check them out. But you can see the difference in the way of prepping your items the right way. Okay? If you half-ass it like that, it's going to look like shit. If you do it proper, this is the way you do it. Let me fill that in, we'll come back and sand it down. Well, here we are, back on our gas tank. Volkswagen gas tank for our Volkswagen show car, trailer queen, garage queen, 1970 Karmann Ghia off-frame restoration. We all know what we're talking about. We've been there. We've been watching it for over a year. We're finalizing it up. We're finally getting the finalizing nations of the nation done. And what we got is the gas tank. Now, I was showing you about fixing the dents right in this area here because that's actually what shows. And somebody threw some tools down on her, did something. Hell, I don't know what's happening. I don't care what's happening. Okay, all I care about is getting it done so we can get on with the next job. Okay, this Karmann Ghia is really, really wearing me out. Okay, there's our Evercoat. And what that's for very, very minor dents and imperfections. That is not made. That's a glazing putty, glazing compound. Now, you can use this several different ways. I mix it with Bondo. I use it by itself. I repair pinholes with it. I repair very small dings with it. You know, a lot of useful stuff comes out of that green and white bottle right there. So, that's a good item to have, and, you know, don't forget about your Evercoat. You're gonna need it. Earlier, let me turn that around, we were talking about not fixing these dents because some of these were spot welds and we had a couple little dings over here. Well, I decided since this whole tank's gonna show in the condition of our Karmann Ghia that it's in, we'd go ahead and fix the dents right here. Thank you very fucking much, Volkswagen Steve. Okay. So, what I'm gonna do to block sand it out the quick way is I'm gonna use a block. You know, to be honest with you, when you use your hand, you don't really sand it. Using a block sands it faster and more efficient. A block isn't made just to make sure that the surface is flat. It's also made because you're covering more surface. When you sand with your hand, you got all the grooves here, so you're sanding. Now, you could sand this with your hand. It's very small and minor. But the problem is you're missing a lot of areas. If you look at your hand, this is a solid flat surface, so when you sand it with a block, it hits everything at one time, and we're done. And that's done. See how quick that is. Let me get this one right here. And what you're doing, you're sanding it out to feather the edges. Okay, when you do that, you want to feel that just like you're feeling the baby's bottom. Okay, rub your hand across it, make sure there's no highs or lows. Those are done. Any flat surface that you come in contact with, always use a flat block. It just makes common sense to make it and do it right. Now, I gotta go ahead and final sand this down. Okay, with 80, I gotta sand this down. We're gonna put this in primer, and it's gonna be ready to paint. This is Pete. We're at Southwest Rod Custom, and we're here all the time, okay? That's just one little tech tip of detailing and finalizing up your show car is to do it right, okay? Do not fiddle fart around and at the end of the fucking job, shimmy sham it. Okay, shimmy shamming is not the way to go. Go ahead and do it. It's just like this here. I went ahead, I was only gonna fix these dents right here. Okay, guys? But I went ahead and fixed all this stuff and made it better. Okay? Don't shimmy shammy it. Do it right, do it tight, make it nice, professional. If it's gonna be a trailer clean, what the fuck? Do it all the way, not half-ass it. This is Pete, we'll see you later. Once that's primed, I'm gonna paint it. We're gonna take a good look at it when it's all painted. I might do a little artwork on it, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not, maybe so. We'll see what happens. Goodbye.